is Monday, January 18th, 2021, and this is the Early Edge powered by SportsLine. I am the coach, and a very happy Martin Luther King Jr. holiday to you. Now, I know a lot of you out there are like, my kids are going to be home from school today. Well, we have just the antidote for you. There's going to be sports and basketball all day long. So, after a rough Sunday, at least on props here on the show, I decided I was going to go out and get our absolute best basketball cappers that I've got in my stable. That's exactly what I've done. So let's bring them in right now, because we do this show every single day before 11 a.m., and it's 10 minutes. The clock starts now. M squared right below me. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Ready for about 12 hours of basketball on the couch today. It's going to be a great day.
Boom, boom. Right next to M squared is the Zack attack. Zack, you've been on fire.
Yeah, it was a good week on SportsLine. Glad to have a bounce-back week.
You're damn right we are. And then the man, our rock, our legend, he is the maestro, Larry Hartstein. Larry, good morning.
Good morning, Coach. Yeah, whiffed on the props, but had a nice 6-2 overall day on sportsline.com. Let's keep it rolling.
Who would have known that Patrick Mahomes was going to go down 4 yards short of his prop? Prayers to him that he'll be back for an incredible AFC championship. And we'll get to that game on Sunday. But we're here every single day. So our first game on the board today, we're going straight to the National Basketball Association. In Miami, the Heat are hosting the Pistons. 3 Eastern tip. M squared, start us off.
I'm looking at the Detroit Pistons +6 here. So this team continues to be undervalued, especially in another matchup here where Jimmy Butler will not be available for the Miami Heat. I love the length and athleticism of this Detroit team with Josh Jackson, Blake Griffin, Jeremy Grant, and Derrick Rose coming in off the bench there a lot there. I love this team here. I make this line closer to -3 for Miami. So we're getting about 3 whole points here of value. I like it a lot at +6. I would play it even all the way down to +5, +4.5 if I had to.
Yeah, they got off to a really slow start this year, but if you watch their recent games, they're really starting to play a lot better. I like that pick a lot in Miami. All right, Zack, I said you've been on fire. How about 6-0 in your last 6 picks on NBA and 6-1 in college basketball? Whatever you're giving me today, I'm playing it. Let's go.
Well, I'm going to go with the marquee game of the day with the Milwaukee Bucks -2 against Brooklyn. Look, this could be the first game that the Nets have all 3 starters on the floor, and Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving. And if that happens, I think the Bucks play with a slight edge. They're going to still try to show that they're the top dogs in the Eastern Conference. And we've seen in the past that these super teams that are put together take time to gel. I think that happens today. And also the Nets, they've had a very home-friendly schedule. This will mark their 11th home game of their 15 games.
Yeah, and to back you up, the Bucks -2 hits in 55% of the simulations on SportsLine, and that's a lean to the Bucks to back up Zack as well. 7:30 Eastern tip, by the way, on TNT. All right, Larry, what do you got in the NBA today?
Well, I'm going to look out west, and the Spurs going to Portland. Portland's been a bad home bet all season, and the Spurs 5-1-1 against the number on the road. They've been much better on the road. No CJ McCollum, no Nurkic. I mean, the Blazers are going to, after Lillard, it's going to be Carmelo and Trent and Covington. Those are the guys who are going to have to step up. I don't think they do it. I'm on the Spurs laying. I got it at 1. It's now 1.5. I still like it at 1.5.
Yeah, and also on SportsLine, the simulations have the Spurs covering 58% of the time as well. All right, let's go to our favorite NBA prop of the day. Mikey, you like somebody in that game that Larry just talked about.
Yeah, Larry's analysis was spot on there in that game, and that's why we're going to be taking Damian Lillard over 33.5 total points. I know this seems like a massive number, but as he mentioned, no CJ McCollum, no Yusuf Nurkic. So normally if Nurkic was in and McCollum was out, we'd see Lillard look to facilitate a little bit more. Here, it's going to be 40+% usage rate for Damian Lillard. He's going to shoot as many times as he possibly can. I think he's going to keep it competitive for 3 quarters, and he should go over 33.5. My median number on this is 40 points, which is absolutely ridiculous, but that's what we're going to see tonight from Damian Lillard.
Yeah, Damian Lillard, one of the top scorers in basketball. I like that as well. I'm going to side with Nikola Vucevic under 22.5 points for the Orlando Magic. He's coming off 34 points against the Brooklyn Nets the other night, and that was his highest output in 2 years. Also, he attempted a career-high 12 three-pointers. You have to believe he's going to drop back down to his normal levels. And one last thing for a big man, Vucevic doesn't get to the free throw line that much. In 8 games through January, he's only attempted an average of 1.4 free throws per game.
I'm going to go back to that Pistons-Miami game where the Pistons won by 20 a couple nights ago, and Jeremy Grant had 6 assists. I mean, that gives him 13 in the last 4 games. He is also a playmaker in addition to being a scorer. There's no Jimmy Butler. His assist number is at 1.5, and he plays at least 34 minutes a game. Every game since the opener, he's been in at least 34 minutes. I'm going over 1.5 assists.
And I should point out, there's a lot of you out there watching right now. They get frustrated like I do when you go to put your prop bet in and it's like an assist above what we give out on the show. Remember, this is the early edge. This show is in your feed before 11 a.m. Remember, we'll give you what we feel comfortable, but this could change throughout the day. Just understand that. And by the way, if you want to follow us throughout the day, how about the SportsLine app and sportsline.com? If you use the promo code EDGE right now, we're going to give you 30 days for free. There's never been a better time with more sports than right now. So I'm going to give it to you. And don't tell my bosses because they get hot at me every single day. They really do. Okay, let's go to our favorite college basketball game of the day. M squared, where are you going here?
I'm going to be looking at Florida State and Louisville. So when I go to my simulations, these might be 2 of the most evenly matched teams in the computer that we have right now. So I make Florida State minus 0.3 better in the average simulation. That's going to give us an edge of 2.3 points here. So the real difference is between these 2 teams is the tempo that they want to play with. Florida State's going to look to play a little faster. Louisville's going to want to slow it down, play the half-court game a little bit more. I lean towards Florida State being able to have their way just a little bit more in this spot. So when you're giving me +2 here, I think we might even get +2.5. I think that we might see some more public support for Louisville at home here. So I might hold off, but I like this game. Anything +1.5 or more for Florida State, as again, I think it's just an absolute pick 'em of a game.
Yeah, Florida State looked phenomenal last week. They had one of the most impressive wins in college basketball when they blew out NC State. I'll back St. Joseph's +2. I'm going back to the theme where I back a 1-win team here on the show. St. Joseph, this is one of the games where you have to ask yourself, why is this point spread so low? They've, over their last 42 games, they've won just 7 games, lost 35. And these are the type of games that you can win money on if you evaluate it properly. I just think they're a feisty team. They trailed Kansas just by 8 points at halftime this year. Had a couple of overtime games, including a 5-point loss to Auburn. I think they'll be ready to play. This is a marquee game, as it's 2 of the 5 schools in the Philadelphia Big Five.
Yeah, it's also a marquee game on CBS Sports Network, a 4 Eastern tip. You can watch it right here with us. Finally, our final pick of the day. I had to jump in because this man has absolutely been on fire. 79 and 49 in college basketball. That is plus 24.89 for a $100 better. If you're not betting with Larry Hartstein in college basketball, what are you doing? Larry, give it to me.
Well, this one is actually a little scary to me because I jumped on UConn last night at 9.5, and the line has come all the way down to 7.5. I still love it. I mean, people are obviously piling on St. John's. They think this is too many points, but St. John's hasn't covered any of their last 5 road games. UConn is 7-1. They are missing their leading scorer, but they missed him the last couple of games, and they've still covered 6 straight. St. John's has the gambling, pressing defense with Mike Anderson, and I just think UConn is disciplined enough to handle that, and teams shoot 48% against St. John's. I think UConn is going to light it up. So I would definitely lay 7.5 because I already laid 9.5.
That's my man. By the way, 2:30 Eastern tip on Fox. There's a lot of early games today, so make sure you know when your game is going to start so you don't get shut out. All right, it's that time of the show. You know what to do. Grab your paper. Grab your pencil. Here we go with the recap. We start with M squared. He likes the Pistons plus the 6 over the Heat. They've been playing a lot better as of late. Damian Lillard without his running buddy, C.J. McCollum, so over 33.5 points in his prop. And then Florida State. Remember, Louisville just got beat by Miami on Saturday as well. So Florida State going in there right for the pickings. The Zack attack. He likes the Bucks minus the 2 over James Harden and Kevin Durant and that Nets squad. Nikolai Vucevic under 22.5 points. And then St. Joe's plus 2, 4 Eastern on CBS Sports Network. And finally, the Maestro, Spurs minus 1.5. Remember, Portland playing without C.J. McCollum. That's very important. His prop, Jeremy Grant, over 1.5 assists. And then UConn, you heard all the details, minus 7.5. Jump on it because it keeps coming down, and we foresee it coming down throughout the day in all likelihood. All right, you've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For M squared, for the Zack attack, for the Maestro, and Jacob the jeweler, our producer, who puts his diamond together. I am the coach. Remember, let's have a great week. This is the only place for your daily early edge.